Jim in Las Vegas, Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Leo. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
Hey, great. I'm blind, and I've been building up my library of the skills, and I'm having trouble finding a skill that will allow me to dictate and send an email, or even better yet, just record an email and send it. Do you know any skill that could accomplish this?
I know how to do text messages. Let me see. Oh, yeah, apparently you can now do Gmail.
Good.
Is Gmail good for you?
Perfect.
Okay. But what it's going to take is a little extra work with if this, then that. Do you know about if this, then that?
No.
If this, then that is a free website, ifttt.com, that works with the Amazon Echo to get it to do even more things.
Great.
Yeah, in fact, it's well worth looking. First of all, the amazing thing about the Echo, and the reason I understand why you're asking, there are now more than 10,000 skills. And it's kind of hard to find a skill you want. You can use the, I don't know how it is when you're blind, actually. It might even be impossible. The way I do it is I use the Echo app on my phone, and then there's a skills section with 10,000 skills, and you can look by category. You can search, but it's tricky to do that. So I would say we'll put an article in the show notes that'll explain how to do this, but you can use, what you'll do is you'll trigger an if this, then that action. So if this, then that is exactly as it sounds. If this, then that. And one of the thises can be a command from an Amazon Echo, and one of the that's can be then send it as Gmail. So you'll have to enable the if this, then that skill.
Right.
In the Amazon Echo. Really worth doing. If this, then that is great. And then there's a recipe on if this, then that for sending someone a short email via voice through the Echo. And you do it through, believe it or not, the to-do list. And there is no direct way that I know of to send an email. But what you're going to do is you're going to, well, for instance, a sample would be Echo, add, I am running late to my to-do list. You're limited to, maybe 40 words. You can't go on and on and on, but it's good for short emails. And then if this, then that is scanning your to-do list and says, oh, here's an item, let's email this. Now, the problem is, of course, that do you have many recipients?
No, I don't. A handful.
Yeah. So you're going to, the way this is set up, you don't get to specify the recipient. It's in the if this, then that recipe. So you might have to figure out some hack. This is an interesting challenge.
Yeah.
I think the reason, part of this is that Amazon doesn't allow long speeches.
Right.
So while you could, for instance, use the Google Assistant to do this, you could send an email to Lisa saying, I'll be home in a few minutes, period. Could you please stop and pick up Michael, period. Signed, Leo. You could do that on a Google Assistant. You could do that with the Google Home. But Echo, for some reason, I think doesn't want these longer things. I think it just doesn't want to send long speeches.
Yeah, right now I'm using a transcription service called TalkScribe from Line 1 Communications, where I call.
Do you have a smartphone?
No, I don't.
Yeah, this is this kind of thing the smartphone does very well.
Yeah.
There's got to, Amazon's got to be considering a way to do this, because this is an obvious use, right? Because
I think the Facebook posting also is an issue.
Yeah, because it will only take a few words. Right. So you've got to think Amazon's thinking about this and how it could do it. For somebody who's blind, having a voice assistant, the more it can do, the better, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these things are a boon. I can only imagine how great it is. And we just get, it's getting there. It's only 2 years old.
Let me ask you, it's incredible.
Yeah.
My other question is the Kindle Fire will allow you now to have Kindle books narrated.
Right.
Now, is that on the Echo yet, or is it, I'm sure it'll be planned, maybe planned, I don't know.
That's a good question. I use audiobooks from Audible on my Echo all the time. And so any audiobook you purchase, and that's different from the robotic narration of the Kindle. That's a human reading it.
Right, I've got that.
But you want to have the robotic, I sounds familiar. Seems to me you can. Let me think. Kindle, read, Echo. That sounds familiar. I read these Echo emails every week. And yes. With Kindle books by A Word, I'll call her Echo, you can ask Echo to read eligible Kindle books in your library. So if it's purchased from the Kindle store or borrowed from the Kindle's owner's lending library or Kindle Unlimited, here's the command. Listen to a Kindle book title, but it has to be in your Kindle library.
Terrific.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, what a boon, we're entering some very interesting times.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leo. How do I access the article you mentioned?
The one about if this then that?
Yes.
It's on The Verge. And if you Google, what did I Google to find it? The article came out a couple of years ago. Alexa's voice assistant now works with Twitter, Gmail, and Evernote, but it is it's if this then that recipes. So search for The Verge and Amazon, Alexa, and email or Gmail, and I think you should be able to find it pretty quickly.
Thanks so much, Leo.
My pleasure. Take care. You too.